You may remember the Smothers Brothers got big laughs with the line, "Mom always liked you best." That's for people of a certain age, of course. In a new book, psychologist Dr. Ellen Weber-Libby argues that being a parent's favorite when you're a kid has a big effect when they become adults. Her book is called The Favorite Child, How a Favorite Impacts Every Family Member for Life. Good morning.
Good morning.
How long as a psychotherapist?
I have been practicing over 30 years.
Right, and you started to see this trend. What was the trend?
Well, I practice in Washington, D.C., and in Washington we have a lot of people with a lot of confidence. You have to come to Washington with confidence to get things done.
Yeah, a lot of favorite sons.
A lot of favorite sons, exactly.
Yeah.
And as I worked, I began to see a trend. And in the trend, I was amazed at how many people I saw were favorite children in their families.
Right.
So in following that, I appreciated that to be a favorite child allows someone to grow up powerful and confident and with the courage that it takes to get the job done.
Yeah.
But there was also an underside.
Which is?
That you don't think the rules always apply to you. You think that you're entitled, that you can do things the way you want to do them, and people are so appreciative of you being the good guy,
right,
of making people feel good about themselves.
Because isn't every single president from FDR on,
correct,
were sort of favorite children, even sometimes in the case of only children? And there really was you kind of see the thread that runs through this.
Absolutely, because it does take the confidence of a favorite child to get something done.
Right.
And presidents since FDR have in fact been their parents' favorite child.
Here's my question though, so that we see that with men and we see what some of the results can be. What happens if the daughter is the favorite child?
Well, it depends whether you're talking about whether the daughter's the favorite child to mom or to dad.
Okay, to dad first.
Well, if daughters are their father's favorite, they're pretty likely to be successful in the world.
Okay.
They usually identify with their dad and they have the courage to go out there and get things done.
Okay, and if it's a favorite to the mom?
Then they tend to be more caretakers. They often will stay attached to mom in ways that they're taking care of mom when she gets older.
You are so sounding like you're describing my family.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, this really sounds like a template.
Really?
Yeah,
you have a sister that takes care of mom?
Who was the sister who really took care of my mother, and of course, you know, who else would be the favorite?
Of course, of course.
That's right. In terms of sisters or brothers, siblings, what kind of an effect does this have on the siblings as they see that one child is being favored over another one?
That's a very complicated question because in some families, siblings who are not the favorite are actually pretty relieved. They have a freedom to live their life the way they want to.
There's less pressure.
Right. There's less pressure to have to do what you have to do to fill the role.
Right. In your family, was there a favorite brother or sister?
I was my dad's favorite.
You were the dad's favorite, so you went out and did this great thing, right?
My brother was my mom's favorite, and interestingly, he's a physician. And he's very involved in taking care of people, and he does a great job of that.
And was there a rivalry between you because of this?
I think I was always jealous because I didn't want to just be my dad's favorite. I wanted to be my mom's favorite too.
Wow.
Though it's been fun because my brother and I joke a lot about that.
In the end, though, is there a cautionary tale here? As parents, what should we be most mindful of if we find ourselves perhaps doting on one child over another?
Favoritism is absolutely normal. And it happens in every single family. So the first thing parents have to really acknowledge is the importance of being honest about what's happening.
Wow.
The second thing that has to happen is that you want two adults who work together jointly to be able to be a checks and balance for one another, so that if one parent indulges, the other parent can say, hey, wait a minute.
Good cop and bad cop.
Exactly.
Very interesting stuff in this book. It's called The Favorite Child. Dr. Ellen Weber-Libby, thank you very much for being here.
It's a pleasure.
So appreciate it.